Charlie Weis is a noted offensive innovator. He is not prone to give over his play calling duties to anyone. There was a young man who was not just anyone. Charlie Weis kept a promise last week against Washington in a heart-touching story that wasn't a win-win for the Gipper situation. Tom Rinaldi has the story.
You're looking at a kid that you know is not going to make it. I thought my job was to do all I could to get a smile on his face.
Almost from the day he was given his name, Montana, after Joe Montana, Montana Mazurkiewicz grew up watching Notre Dame football. From the day he was diagnosed with a brain tumor a year and a half ago, he kept watching. And last week, he asked if a player from the team could visit him at home, a few miles from campus. Wednesday, the head coach came instead.
I said, "There's somebody here to see you," and the coach walked right past me and he said, "Hi, I'm Charlie Weis," and Montana's eyes just lit up.
Here's a 10-year-old kid who's dying, and he knew it because he said, he goes, "I have a tumor that's inoperable." Here's a 10-year-old kid who's telling you that it's inoperable. You know, I thought just the fact that he could say that word, you know, he knew that, he knew he was going.
During the visit, Weis gave Montana a signed football. The boy, without any movement below the waist and weakened by the tumor, tried to throw a pass in the living room.
It was just very awesome. Here's this little tiny boy and this big hulking man in the chair next to my little boy, helping him throw a pass. And Montana had nothing but a big smile on his face.
Before leaving the house, Weis asked Montana a question.
The coach just asked him, what would you like to do? Would you like to call a play? And Montana said, "I'd like to call the first offensive play." And the coach just kind of broke out in a sweat.
I said, "Well, you want me to run or pass?" And he goes, "Pass to the right." Not just pass to the right.
Just a day and a half after the visit, early Friday, Montana died in his mother's arms. He was 10 years old.
I felt so selfish because I didn't want him to go. But he had told me that he wanted to be with the angels. So I just held him and sang him the stupid Notre Dame fight song. And then some other songs that my daughter had written. And I just told him he could rest. It was time to stop fighting, that he could rest now, and that he was my hero. And he did. He just stopped.
Weis learned Montana had died after the team arrived for its game in Washington. A day later, the family watched as Notre Dame played. For its first offensive play of the game, the ball rested inside the Notre Dame 1-yard line.
Brady Quinn sets up Notre Dame at about its own 2-foot line.
No way, he's not going to pass it. He's not going to do it. He can't. He can't make that play.
Brady looked at me and said, "Well, what are we going to do?" I said, "Well, we don't have a choice." I says, "No, what we're going to do, we don't have a choice. We run the play."
Play action for Quinn. Throws wide open for Sano, the tight end with a hurdle. And he might have a first down.
It was almost as if Montana was pulling him over, that guy, saying, "Okay, let's get a few extra yards here and get us out of trouble."
The play went for 13 yards, but reached much farther, all the way to a family in Indiana, a family in grief.
It was the fact that Coach Weis kept his word. That was the big thing, that he kept his word in an almost impossible situation to a 10-year-old kid that he didn't even know.
Charlie Weis never wanted that story to be made public, but once it got out, he went to pay his respects privately to the family after Notre Dame returned from their victory over Washington. The team signed a football and presented it to the Mazurkiewicz family, and certainly our condolences continue to be with them.